I'm Gary Vaynerchuk, co-founder of VaynerMedia, a social media agency. I'm here to give the keynote presentation, my second year in a row, which is very flattering. Thank you so much. And also in my prior life, I built a large e-commerce wine business with my dad, winelibrary.com, started a wine show on the internet, on YouTube when it first came out, used Facebook and Twitter when it first came out to market it. So I've been kind of an innovator in these emerging platforms over the years. I'm talking about current consumer trends under the context of how does Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr, Instagram affect the end consumer. And coming from an e-commerce background and now having agency experience working with Fortune 100 companies, it gives me good wide variety of context on how to convert and ultimately how does social media have an ROI and sell stuff. You want the real answer? I think I get legacy. You know, to me, it's going to, I'm so proud that people have changed their businesses. I mean, you saw the gentleman that came up to us. I mean, do you know what that feels like? For people to come up to you and say you've changed their lives or you've written something that moved them or made a video. And it's also going to be fun for me to look back. One day, right now, my grandchildren are probably watching this 80 years in the future. And that's cool to me, the legacy of it all. And was I right? Been really cool if there was a video of me right now saying, this Henry Ford thing, the car, or like this computer, it's going to be big. I like that. I like the legacy of being on the right side of history. So that's what I get out of it. Yeah, so I was born in Belarus in the former Soviet Union. So I'm Eastern European by heritage and definitely by DNA. And so for me, it's super flattering to be able to travel the world to beautiful places like this and still have people that know who I am and are interested in hearing what I have to say. I get to travel a lot. Stockholm is an incredible city. I mean, you guys know this. This is just an incredible city. The crowd is always massively progressive, so it's not like I'm going to an emerging country. The difference between the Swedish market or Nordic markets and the US market is much smaller than I think even the Swedes understand. So to me, it's intellectually stimulating. It's not 101. People are doing business here at scale. It's a modern society when it comes to the digital world. So yeah, it's got an extra ring to it. It's got European class, but it's not too far behind the US when it comes to innovation and technology. Maybe not inventing the products, but definitely using them, it's very close. I felt a lot more energy from the crowd this year. Maybe they're a little more comfortable with me, the crazy American. More likely, there's been a lot of advances. People are more digitally savvy than they were a year ago. American crowds are more interested in hearing me. 3 years ago, 2 years ago, people were skeptical about social media's value in the ecosystem. I think that's changed quite a bit. So that's probably what's changed. I think there was much better energy. There was more people this year. The event's just getting better and bigger and stronger. Yeah, it was a New York Times bestseller, so I was very flattered. I found that out right after I was here last year. It's sold extremely well. It's still doing extremely well. That's an amazing feeling to write books that people still buy and read. And so yeah, it's been a big success. And I thought I wasn't going to write another book, but in the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's been coming in my body a little bit. Maybe because I think I have new things to say. I feel like I didn't have a lot to say. Maybe that's what kept me quiet. But I can feel it boiling in my body. Yeah, yes, because my perspective isn't etched in stone. It's written in sand. And so if something comes along and I'm like, wow, then I'll go over here. Sorry, camera guy. I will move very quickly. I thought when I was 16, I was the smartest businessman ever, and I was going to open up 500 liquor stores, wine shops. And then I heard the internet, and I'm like, wait a minute, I need one. And just, and then I thought it was good to do search, and then I thought it was good to do social. And so email services, I'm very willing to move with the reality of the marketplace. And so that's what I'm into. Get experience. Not enough kids are willing to work for free or very little to learn. Getting your hands dirty under your fingernails, it's the game. I just don't know what else to say. To me, that is the #1 thing that blows my mind, that kids don't want to work for it. So 1, learn your craft. 2, pay attention to your friends. The young are the future. And if you notice trends like, oh, they don't use email, you can learn from them, or they're watching a lot of YouTube. So the two biggest things are stop being soft and start actually working and getting your hands dirty in the thing that you love. And number two, pay attention to trends around your friends. It depends on how you're stuck. Do you not like what you're selling or the business? You may need to sell your company and do a new career. But innovating keeps you fresh. I feel revived all the time because I think I'm so smart, and then it's not about Facebook and Twitter anymore. I need to know Instagram and Pinterest and Tumblr and Foursquare and Social Cam. That's exciting. So, inherently, the technology business doesn't let you get into a rut if you're willing to not put yourself in a rut. The reason I came back was this was the best conference, one of the 2 or 3 best conferences I went to last year. You can only talk in Silicon Valley and Las Vegas and New York so much, so I love to get out of the US. Certain markets are less mature, so I feel like I'm talking about things from 3 or 4 years ago, which doesn't excite me. The organizers are really good human beings. It's a very tight ship here and well run. As a participant, if I'm in Sweden or Norway or Finland or Nordics or even Europe, this is one of the better lineups. They have amazing speakers. They bring in creme de la creme people like me. The quality of the content and the serendipity. I love how you guys do the outside thing where people get to meet each other, and that's where real business happens. I just like the setup. It's not just about the conference. It's not just about the hallway and the outside. It's a good blend of the two. The venue's great, and the content is strong and very relevant. You had somebody speaking on Pinterest. She was great. I like that. It's not just 3 or 4 years ago or the same old commerce stuff. Yeah, it's funny you said that because that's why I asked you for clarification. I was thinking while I was on stage that I should tell Katya from Birchbox, the founder of Birchbox, to come here and speak when I talked about the box phenomenon because I just think this is a very receptive crowd. I mean, as a business person, you want to build your brand in as many places as possible. This is one of the most progressive countries in the world when it comes to digital and marketing and e-commerce. And the bigger question is why not? Not to mention, it's one of the most amazing cities in the world. I mean, it's a complete no-brainer to me. Thank you so much. Thank you.